are actually the demographics of people that are actually collecting or interested in digital art? Where do you feel like, in the region, like is it APAC, is it North America? Like where is kind of the growth and where is like the more interesting stuff you think happening?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, I think while the sample size of if I think of it as a Venn diagram, right, I think of like inherent Web 2 followers, and then I think of the other circle as Web 3, folks that understand how to collect an NFT of mine. I would say those crossroads are still a relatively small sample pool, maybe, but I like to think that those few people that are doing that are the super fans. I don't know what's happening here, but I'm going to power through it. So I think to pinpoint a place on the map, it's hard to do, right? I think it probably is more Western culture, and I have a lot. I mean, my work is so, internationally appreciated, which is of course an honor, to see like a DM from like, Bangalore, India, right? Or like somewhere in Vietnam or wherever, right? So I think, do I think Web3 culture is flourishing there yet? I don't, but I think it's going to get there. And I think that's the exciting part. And I think that's why everybody in the room here is motivated to continue pushing the culture forward. But I would say, if I were to pinpoint the demographic, it's probably more so, just Westernized society that is super hyped on where this can go. So everybody that doesn't yet know how to get access can someday soon get access and be able to participate in the big old Web3 party,
Just a quick comment on that. Sorry, I always write things down because I do also forget everything that's going on. When we say collecting, it's really interesting because we're coming at that through the context of ownership, of owning something and owning an NFT. I like to just step back and think about collecting as in saving, screenshotting, seeing on Instagram, viewing, interacting. I'm sure there are many, many people who have collected your work through screenshotting, putting it as their phone background. They don't formally own it, but in some way they are using in a way that will affect their daily life, and it's interacting with their consciousness on a day-to-day basis. And I would say, based on looking at the people in my family, especially the younger kids, they always like screenshot and save all these images, and they've got Pinterest boards and they've got Instagram saved posts. And I wake up in the morning, I turn on Instagram and I have 100 memes from different friends around the world. And even though that's not a formal ownership, that's not I own this piece of content, I own this, here's my non-fungible token on whichever blockchain I'm on, it is, this is something that represents me and I must share it with the world. And I think that goes through a very, very, very young age group. I think as soon as someone has a device, you can see, like, my niece is 6 years old, she screenshots things and shows me them. And if she's screenshotting something, and the kids today have just so intuitive use of technology, it also helps to build to the brand if it's recognizable. If someone sees and goes, oh, that's cool, man, that's completely recognizable. And affecting the public consciousness in a way, even though it's not linked to financial gain, is brand growth, is brand recognition, and helps you build kind of brand consciousness. And I'll pass.
Thanks. Art piece always has two function. One is you appreciate, you like it. Another is the investment vehicle. As a fund manager, asset manager for so many years, I love art. At the same time, my client buy art because they love it and because they believe it is going up the price. And then for digital, as I said, it cut off all the intermediate. We can buy through the cell phone easily with the blockchain. It's a lot safe to make sure the source, the authenticity, everything. So I think the Web3 basically is promoting art, helping artists. In the past, you need to go through the middleman, you need to go through the gallery. It's quite an expensive journey. But now a lot of our artists, they promote themselves using the IG, social media, and I think maybe a few years later, people can buy, sell their stream cap, their art piece through the social media, through the Web3 channel. I think this is a trend, and then it will be, become our daily lives very soon.
Got it. I mean, those are some very, very interesting points. So we covered trends, we covered misconceptions, industry growth. Let's talk about what